here to bring good vibes are Twins, the new trend.
What's up, YouTube? Back with another review. We gonna get into this, man. We got some more of the View meltdown situations. Gonna see what it's talking about, man. But without further ado, let's get into it.
They would do their jobs the way that I think they should be doing their jobs, which is unmasked without disappearing people from the streets. I don't think that the public would feel as endangered.
This is about making America white again.
Of the worst. Joy Reid, Sonny Hostin got to be the worst people on TV. What about all the Mexican people or black and brown people who work in this mother freaking country legally? What about them?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey y'all, school is out for summer. Now is the perfect time to deprogram your kids. Hey y'all, and freedom.
Until now, game changer. They have a wire trimming head that's universal. It's going to fit any weed eater. They have different sizes.
All right, y'all know I had to talk about the these hamburger heifers get on my nerves, boy. They get on my nerves. They get on my nerves, especially Sonny Hostin. She's the worst of the worst. Joy Reid, Sonny Hostin got to be the worst people on TV. But I want to play this clip for them because they're talking about Alligator Alcatraz and they're completely consumed with lunacy. Even the one that claims to be conservative, I call her the wasted face. The wasted face is even silly. Now I'm gonna play this clip and I'm gonna let them speak and I'm gonna jump in. I gotta jump in. Now y'all know I'm doing this from the car, so we gotta work it a little bit, all right? But I'm gonna jump in because I need to say some stuff. So let's roll the wasted face and what she said. Roll the clip.
So I think an unexpected voice kind of nailed how a lot of the public feels about this. I have a clip from Joe Rogan I want to play.
There's two things that are insane. One is the targeting of migrant workers, not cartel members, not gang members, not drug dealers, just construction workers showing up in construction sites, raiding them, gardeners.
Yeah.
Like, really?
97% of adults support deporting people who are undocumented and committed crimes in this country. We're in a Manhattan studio audience. I bet everyone here agrees with that. If Donald Trump focused on securing the border, which he's done, and takes his time to actually prioritize people who committed crimes, gives them due process, and then if they're found guilty, deports them, most Americans support this, but there's this headline chasing that's going on, wanting to say we're rounding up this many people. I've deported more people than Obama has. And what it's led to is his numbers plummeting on immigration because most of the public knows people who are undocumented, knows them in their community, thinks that people who've known no other life somewhere are deeply tied into where they've lived most of their lives. They should have a chance at being here. That's just where the public is.
Right.
So it seems like an unforced error. And I would say, the way that I think if you're somebody who's really disturbed by things like Alligator Alcatraz and feels like the targeting of certain migrants is making you really uncomfortable, call your lawmaker, because what I am seeing is an uptick in rhetoric against CBP and ICE enforcers who are dealing with this problem because they're being told by the President of the United States that they have to. And then this past week, there was a very dangerous attack on CBP officials in McAllen, Texas. Several people were injured. The perpetrator was actually neutralized, but that's also something we don't want to see, is an uptick in violence against law enforcement who are doing their jobs. So if you have a problem with this, talk to your lawmaker. That's the place to do it.
All right, I disagree with her on a few points. I'll be very clear with you. I do not think that Joe Rogan even understands the totality of what they're talking about when they're going to these workplaces and construction sites. There are people who have deportation orders and they know that they're working here or there, and they go there and then they get a whole bunch of other people. They're not sitting there going, let's find work sites to go pick random people who will be illegal. It's a waste of time. They'll never get anywhere doing that. What happens is they're going and fulfilling deportation orders, and they find those people and they get them, and if there's other people around them, they got to go too. That's just the way it is. And I do not think the public is at odds with that. The public is changing perception because they're being lied to. They're lying about what they're doing. They're lying about what ICE is doing. They're lying about what Border Patrol is doing. That's why the people are saying, well, I'm not for that. Well, that's not what they're doing anyway. All right, let's get to Sunny hosting, because I know y'all want to hear me talk about this one. Hopefully I don't have a stroke while I'm talking about her. Roll the clip.
If they would do their jobs the way that I think they should be doing their jobs, which is unmasked without disappearing people from the streets, I don't think that the public would feel as endangered. Because if someone approaches my loved one who's undocumented with a mask, how do I know that they're actual law enforcement? How do I know that they work for ICE? So that's one thing I'll say.
There's actually people who have impersonated ICE officers.
Exactly.
But do they show an
ID? They don't show IDs. They're not dressed appropriately. They're not flagged, and they're masked. And so, in my world, if you mask yourself because you don't want to be seen, because there will be a reckoning for some of the actions that actual law enforcement have done. But I'll also say this, I don't want to hear anything ever in this country again about not being able to house people, not being able to, no affordable housing, because they put this thing up in 8 days. 8 days. So where there is a will, there's a way. There is a way.
All right, let's get back to what she said. Look, check this out. These people put their foot in their rear end every single time. This woman just said, well, they shouldn't be masked if they're not trying to do that. No, but they're getting threatened, and there's people trying to kill them and dox them. That's why they put their mask on. Well, I'm just
facts. Even you seen like the riots, they throwing rocks, they hitting. I seen the video where they hitting the flags in an army truck. So if they see their face, they're gonna be like, okay, that's him, and they gonna go kill him. Like, they trying to protect themselves and their lives so they won't get killed, because they doing riots. It's crazy.
If somebody come up to my loved one with a mask on, what are they doing? Well, who do you think they are, though? No. What kind of people come up to your loved one with a mask on? Black people who are thugs, illegal aliens who are kidnapping you, that's involved in MS-13 and other gang activity. These are the only groups, and I would say the majority, that will wear a mask to come up to your family member. So how about you address that issue instead of trying to project on something else? And then she goes on to say that there will be a reckoning for what they're doing. Oh, what you saying? What you saying? I know what you're saying. We know what you're saying. We know what you're trying to prove. Mm-hmm. There have been situations where people impersonate. There's been situations where people impersonate police officers. There have been a situation where people impersonate all kind of people. But are they doing what's right legally or not? Hold on, before I let her finish, I gotta say this. She said, I don't want to hear anything about affordable housing. They erected this thing in a couple months, or a couple weeks, or whatever. So are you saying that it's nice facilities where people could actually live in? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying it's a nice facility where people can work in? It's a livable facility where people can enjoy a good life? Then how are you saying it's bad for migrants, and you saying these are facilities that are capable of being erected where people can live in it? Make your mind up. Let me roll the clip.
This is not about going after the criminals and the gang members. This is about making America white again and otherizing everybody who is an immigrant. Because think about this. Just think about this. At the same time that they are rounding up Latino immigrants, brown immigrants, they are opening up the doors for white South Afrikaners fleeing from a non-existent genocide. Yeah. And so look, this is about, I think, one, deporting people, and two, scaring people out of this country. Right. That is why he has sent people to a gulag in El Salvador, disappeared them, a gulag where people only leave if they're dead. That is why he's using military personnel in LA to go into parks where children are playing, to terrorize people.
And why are Republican congressmen putting up with this?
Because they're a bunch of cowards, as is Marco Rubio, whose grandfather had a deportation order at a time.
It's so much to say here, and I feel like a broken record, but I know there's so many new people that are watching me that can resonate with this. These people are so deranged and evil, it's crazy to me. You are racist if you're taking pictures at Alligator, Alcatraz. What about all the Mexican people or black and brown people who work in this mother freaking country legally? What about them? What about them? It's crazy to me that they don't count. They don't matter. The black and brown people that are doing the right thing don't matter. The black and brown people that don't get killed by police, that don't get rounded up by Border Patrol, they don't matter. The people that came here legally, sat in line, paid the money, did all this stuff to get here, enjoying America, they don't matter. It's only the illegal people that they support. Everybody should be saying, only the legal people that did it the right way we support. The rest of y'all, I don't know what to tell you. Then we go off and talk about the detention center is gulags. It's a detention center that can only fit 5,000 people max. They only have 3,000 beds. What kind of gulag is that? And then you go on and they talk about they want to make America white again. What are you talking about, fool? Because 1,500 South Africans they let in the country. 20 million illegal Hispanics and foreigners have come into this country illegally. Illegal. We're not even talking about the millions of people that are legally migrating here. We're talking about illegals. They're trying to make America white again. Who, Marco Rubio? Oh, he don't count. Oh, he must be a traitor. You know, these people annoy the living daylights out of me. I wish that's why I say what I do, because I need the truth to be out there. These people are lying. They're deceptive. They're evil. Contrary to what is reality is what they stand for. Donald Trump and them aren't creating gulags. And it's this very simple process. It's that it's so many people are illegally in our country. And then they want to make the claim, oh, they just going to farms and they going to work sites and just gathering people. And they're showing, Donald Trump has put, and you can go to the ICE website. They're showing all the arrests that they're making. And people have horrendous criminal, I'm talking about murder. I'm talking about, it's just the most atrocious criminal activity. DUIs, drug trafficking, cartel membership. I mean, they showing them on who they arresting. And I'm gonna tell you this is how you know they full of sugar honey iced tea. They won't mention a single incident.
One of them.
Where they are actually arresting a bad person. They won't mention a criminal record. They won't even mention that these things are occurring at all. They won't say it. They won't utter it. They won't feature it. They act as if it doesn't exist. Why? Because they're evil. They do not want you to think that, they want you to think that they're just arresting innocent people without due process. They are taking dangerous criminals off the street. And they don't want you to know. So they just fabricate these stories and make them up and do all that. These people should go to jail and hell over this stuff. That's the honest to God truth. I feel it. Anyway, make sure you subscribe to my Substack. It's a good way to support me. God bless you guys. God bless America. I'll see you on the next one.
Tell me how y'all feel about that in the comments down below, man. That was some crazy mess, and like he was saying, was just true though, man. They just care about the illegal, but they don't care about the innocent that who really got here with their passports, that did all the paperwork, that went to the offices and waited long lines so they can get in here. But hey, that's how people is, man. Just tell me how y'all feel about it. Appreciate y'all. Peace and love.